Planet Dolan.
Who earned millions of an idea that came up with at 8 years old? Who got rich off a mobile game they made in a month when they were 14? Here are 10 people who became self-made millionaires before most people get their first job.
Yeah, what's up, YouTube fans? Sprinkle the one in the building. How we doing today? Today, guys, I got some crazy new content for your face. So here we go. Number 10.
At the age of 14, Scottish entrepreneur Fraser Doherty learned how to make jam from his grandmother. Over the next 2 years, he refined the process, figured out how to make the jam with 100% fruit, and rebranded it as Super Jam as he started selling it. When he was 16, he became the youngest person to negotiate a distribution deal with a major supermarket chain. Sales of Super Jam quickly went into the millions, and he went on to also start up successful coffee and beer companies.
Number 9.
When Sean Belnick was 14 years old, he took $500 and started an online business selling office chairs, bizchair.com. With help from his stepfather, the business grew rapidly, and in 2004, at the age of 17, Belnick moved the business out of his bedroom and into a 40,000 square foot warehouse. By 2005, the company was doing over $12 million in annual sales, and in 2007, the company moved into another new warehouse, more than 8 times the size of the first one. I think at that point I'd sell that thing off and just be lazy all my life.
Number 8.
Cameron Johnson started creating greeting cards for friends and family when he was only 9 years old. By the time he was 11, he had earned thousands of dollars from selling them and used it to start his own business selling Beanie Babies on eBay. That business earned him about $50,000, which he eventually put into software services. The big one was surfingprices.com, a service that paid its users for putting scrolling advertisements across the top of the screen. On that, Johnson made his first $1 million as a high school senior. I need to get up into these businesses, man. Nah, I don't care about all this money.
Number 7.
FishFlops are pretty much exactly what they sound like. Flip-flops with fish and other aquatic life designs. It doesn't sound like anything special, and when Madison Robinson started the company in 2010 at the age of 12, it wasn't. But within 2 years, she succeeded in getting the flip-flops into Nordstrom and started adding other clothing products. By the time she was 15 years old, her company had pulled over $1 million in sales and continues to grow.
Number 6.
In 1993, the Making Bacon tool became one of those overnight infomercial successes. It doesn't look like anything special, just a plastic rack that fits in a microwave. The rack is for cooking your bacon in the microwave without it getting soggy, by hanging it up and not letting it soak in its own grease. It was a simple idea, but it worked, and it turned out to be relatively healthy, at least as bacon goes. And of course, because it was invented by 8-year-old Abby Fleck, it drew attention from talk shows and news programs, and Fleck became something of an entrepreneur celebrity, selling millions of units.
Number 5.
Farrah Gray grew up on the south side of Chicago. At the age of 6, he started his first business, selling homemade lotion and rocks that he'd hand-painted door to door. As he grew up, he continued to run a series of small business ventures, from selling prepaid phone cards to founding the one-stop mailboxes and more franchise, to starring in a radio talk show reaching over 12 million listeners as a preteen. Gray became a self-made millionaire by the age of 14 and now works as a motivational speaker and business advisor.
Number 4.
On December 22, 2010, a 14-year-old Robert Ney released a simple iPhone game, Bubble Ball, onto the App Store for free. Within a month, it had been downloaded over 2 million times and supplanted Angry Birds as the App Store's top free app. Ney had developed the game with his mom in about a month with 4,000 lines of code, and within a few days of its release, it began pulling in millions in ad revenue. I wonder how big really is 4,000 lines of code. Is that really big? I feel like code goes through like huge amounts. So I don't necessarily think that's big, but it is a mobile game, so I'm not sure.
Number 3.
To talk about someone making millions of dollars from MySpace seems hilarious today, but Ashley Qualls did it back in 2004. You know, when MySpace was a thing? But she didn't invent MySpace, she created whateverlife.com, a site that provided free MySpace layouts. Oh, I know that site. It also offered free HTML and CSS tutorials for people to customize their own themes. She made $70,000 in ad revenue after her first 2 months and over $1 million by the time she turned 17. The site was so successful, she turned down 2 different offers of over $1 million each to buy the website. Who wanted to buy the site from her? None other than the co-founder of MySpace himself, Brad Greenspan.
Number 2.
At the age of 10, Juliet Brindack started sketching whatever stuff came into her head. She just drew characters because she felt like it. A few years later, she and her mom went back to some of the sketches and made them into real characters. And at the age of 16, she launched a social network exclusively for teenage girls called Miss O and Friends. Within 3 years, Miss O and Friends had 3 million monthly visitors, and Procter & Gamble invested in the site for $15 million. Years later, she executive produced the YouTube Red series Hyperlink, which is based on her story.
Number 1.
The famed creator of Facebook obviously isn't all that young now, and is currently one of the richest people in the world, not simply a millionaire, but it's worth remembering where he started. As a college kid working on a project in his dorm room. You probably know the story by now, after all, they made a movie out of it. But just in case you forgot, Zuckerberg launched Facebook at age 19 as a Harvard-only social network. By 2010, 6 years later, it became a worldwide platform with over 500 million users, and now he's the 5th richest person on Earth. And he is very awkward when it comes to interviews, that's for sure.
Check out the latest DOLAN KART update, Nixiumville. A new character, heaps of new skins, a new power-up, new level, daily missions, and offline mode. Download from the Android or iOS App Store and start racing today for free.
Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Peace.